भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। ॐ अज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथं वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णविष्णुभूतले प्रभुपादप्रिय श्रीगिरिराजाय स्वामिने सुभक्तरदरास्पृहान् भक्तिमश्चात्मदाय। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णविष्णुभूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नाम। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चाचार्येशतारिणे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदिनतारिणं। हरे कृष्ण। So we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 3. Chapter 3, Text 12. Oh, I think we typed Chapter 2 there, right? I will change it. Look out. Yeah, we're already online.
But you have announced it.
Yeah, we post it on our Okay, anyway, we'll have to. This is chapter 3. So this is now Yamaraj instructions about what is dharma. So this is the discussion of what is dharma and what is adharma. Yama uvacha paro madanyo jagatastatashtischa otam protam patavat yatra vishvam yad amshatosya sthiti janmanasha nasyotavatyasya vashe chalokaha. Yamaraj said, "My dear servants, you have accepted me as the supreme, but factually I'm not." Lucky, isn't it? If Yamaraj was supreme, then what will happen to us? If Yamaraj was supreme, right? What will happen to us? Right? Lucky he's not supreme. Meaning death is supreme, punishment is supreme, right? This is what it means. So lucky he's not supreme. Above me and above all the other demigods, including Chandra, Indra, is the one supreme master and controller. The partial manifestations of his personality are Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiv, who are in charge of the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this universe. He's like the two threads. I really like this. Uttam Protam. Uttam Protam. So here it's translated as crosswise and lengthwise. Crosswise and lengthwise, meaning Vishnu is everywhere. Right? Each and every space. He occupies each and every. I really like this. Uttam Protam. Yeah, so he's like the two threads that form the length and breadth of a woven cloth. The entire world is controlled by him, just as a bull is controlled by a rope in its nose. So these two verses are very, very important. So the order carriers of Yamaraj suspected that there was a ruler even above Yamaraj. To eradicate their doubts, Yamaraj immediately replied, "Yes, there is one supreme controller above everything. Yamaraj is in charge of some of the moving living entities, namely the human beings, but the animals who also move are not under his control." So under whose control are animals? So they've been given their bodies, right? They've been given their bodies. If they're sinful, then they become animals. So they're already in the animal species. So I don't know who's in charge of animals. Which deva is in charge of the animals? Only human beings have consciousness of right and wrong, and among them only those who perform sinful activities come under the control of Yamaraj. Therefore, although Yamaraj is a controller, he is only a departmental controller of a few living entities, meaning only few of them are sinful, okay? Only few. There are other demigods who control many other demigods, but above them all is one supreme controller, Ishvara, Krishna. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. The supreme controllers Krishna, others who control their own departments in the affairs of the universe are insignificant in comparison to Krishna. Right? That's why we say Sarva Dharmam Parityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja, meaning even though all those devas, all these grahas, right, they are controlling us, but they are insignificant, meaning our karma is insignificant in front of Krishna, right? So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Mata 7.7, Mata Parataram Nanyat Kinchit Asti Dhananjaya. My dear Dhananjay, Arjun, no one is superior to me. Therefore, Yamaraj immediately cleared away the doubts of his assistants, the Yamaduts, by confirming that there is a supreme controller above all others. Srila Madhvacharya explained that the words Ottam Protam refer to the cause of all causes. The Supreme Lord is both vertical and horizontal to the cosmic manifestation. This is confirmed by the following verse from the Skanda Puran. So now Skanda Puran is speaking the same words. So this is how, like, there is a statement in one scripture, but then it is again backed up by another scripture. So this is how the Vedic literatures they work. So it's not just one single. You say, oh, why, how, you know? Sometimes the contradictions. So here's a confirmation somewhere else. This is the whole science, of how one literature will support another literature. So it's not just one word. So, oh, okay, somebody said and it was recorded like this, right? This is how the British they spoke. So if somebody, some historian, some Muni, somebody wrote, like we have our philosophers, so they wrote their idea, right? So what's the proof? So here, this is how the Vedic literature works, meaning that what is spoken in one Shastra is also confirmed in another scripture. And Prabhupada said, so that's why if you don't study the scripture, you won't be able to refer. So Srila Prabhupada, he's studying. So these are all the Vaishnava Acharyas' work. And Prabhupada, he's taking their words. And so he is quoting. He's quoting. So he's saying, so throughout in this small purport already Prabhupada has quoted Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Samhita, now Skanda Puran. So what does Skanda Puran say? Yatha Kantha Pata Sutra. So just like around your neck, there is a sutra, right? Ota Protaschasa Sthitaha. Evam Vishnavidam Vishwam Otam Protam Cha Samsthitam. Like the two threads, horizontal and vertical, it's not the neck, of which a quilt is manufactured. Lord Vishnu is situated as the vertical and horizontal cause of the cosmic manifestation. God. 13, text 13. Now this is a very, very important verse. This text 13. And Srila Prabhupada is going to elaborate huge on this. And we should learn this properly because this is actually basic knowledge. Very, very basic knowledge. But it's not read. And nobody is reading the books. So therefore nobody knows. Right? They go to school, they learn many things, but they don't study this. Therefore they don't know. They don't know how to live. They don't know how to work with the laws of nature. So we go against the laws of nature and then we see what's happening, what chaos. So therefore we should propagate. Priya Manjari, you have to start your class at home. You just say like, okay, now this Kartik, like this small girl, she pulled her mother in our group. I don't know what, she was coming for our class. I don't know how, somehow or other. Oh yeah, she came for our camp. I don't know how she landed up with us. So at home, she would just sit with her mother. and started teaching her. And then finally the mother said, oh, this makes sense. So the mother started coming, right? Now with this Kartik, they have taken a vow. Amog Leela made them take a, Amog Leela Prabhu made them take a vow that this month, half an hour, you'll just put up a message to all your groups, online, half an hour, you're going to read Bhagavad Gita. So why don't you do this? Right? You're just going to read, just like I'm reading. You don't need to explain anything. All right? Just read. And when you feel inspired to speak a little, then you speak. Right? Promise. Kartik vow. Kartik vow, 30 days. 30 days. Hmm? So half an hour every day, 8:30. Whatever time is suitable for you. Hmm? All right. Isn't it? See, if we don't make people hear this, right, the world is going to hell. Right? We can't stop so much damage. See, we need not let the world uh, degenerate the way it is. Otherwise, Prabhupada wouldn't have taken the trouble. See, anyways, Kali Yuga. That's what his god brothers were saying. Others were saying, you know, why bother? It's Kali Yuga anyway. Things are going to just go bad and bad to worse. No? Prabhupada said, no. We know something, we should give. Are we not happy he did this? He thought like that, right? So don't be a teacher, just read. Just read, let Prabhupada speak, right? That's what we are doing here. We are only reading Prabhupada's purport, right? I'm not giving a pravachan, right? Am I giving a pravachan? No. I'm just reading word, line by line, whatever is there. So you read, and if something, like comes to your mind, you can say, right? Everybody must do this. Right? Every mother must do this. Every sister must do this, right? Every wife must do this. Hmm? How much Krishna will reward. So now, why I stuck here? Because this, I quoted this in the Vedic philosophy for students. In this passage, I got this. Hmm? When I explain about dharma, what is dharma? Hmm? So here Yamaraj is going to speak about what is dharma. Hmm? So together. Yunam abhirvachi janam nijayam badhanati tantyam ivadam abhirgaha yasme balim taime nama karma nibandhal badhas chakita vahanti. Just as the driver of a bullock cart ties ropes to the nostrils of his bulls to control them, the Supreme Personality of Godhead binds all men through the ropes of his words in the Vedas, which set forth the names and activities of the distinct orders of human society: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. In fear, the members of these orders all worship the Supreme Lord by offering him presentations according to their respective activities. So now Prabhupada is going to explain this meaning of this. So we can imagine how this bull has a rope, it goes through the nostril. I don't know why. Anybody knows? No, I'm not farmer, so I don't know much about bulls, how you control them. You know why they put through the nostril? Why? It's sensitive. Yeah, that we've seen everybody, but why they put through the nostril? I don't know whether it's a sensitive point. that it controls, right? Must be a sensitive point. Hmm? So, uh, so it controls. So just see, like everybody is being controlled through. Sometimes they say you pay through the nose, right? We say you pay through the nose when you're paying, right? Meaning it's painful, right? Meaning you're controlled. So this bull, so he's got the rope through the oh yeah, so to control them, meaning that is a sensitive point, right? Hmm? Oh, okay, all right. Hmm? So the Supreme Person Godhead binds all men through the ropes of his words in the Vedas, meaning the instructions in the Vedas, right? They are binding to humankind. Like I know, like when I first came to India, almost everybody say, I have met many, many women who have sat here in all my classes. Everybody will speak of one thing, that I have my duty. I have my duties. This is what is spoken here. Every man will say, I have my duty. Every woman will say, I have my duty. The girls rarely spoke, I have my duty. And now these girls are women, right? I don't know whether they speak of duty, right? But one generation before, this is the, this is the verse that's being spoken of here. Hmm? So, so the Supreme Person of Godhead binds all men through the ropes of his words in the Vedas, which set forth the names and activities, the distinct orders of human society. Meaning, every varna and every ashrama, there are a set of rules and regulation given by the words of the Supreme Lord in the Vedas. And you feel duty bound, you must follow this. Right? You can't get out of it. It's just duty bound, right? So, in fear, the members of these orders all worship the Supreme Lord by offering him presentations according to their respective activities, meaning that everybody, there was this fear of God, fear that I may not do my duty, right? That it's not good, but gradually became relaxed. The fear went away, right? It just vanished. Hmm? It's not very highly elevated fear, but it's like Vaidhi. You follow the rules out of fear, out of respect. It's not rag. So that's why a husband know what are his duties. A wife would know what are her duties, and they will cooperate with each other. Now that's why very easily they divorce, right? Because nobody feels duty bound. If they have a child previously, say, no, I have a child, we need to stay together for the sake of the child. Now it's okay. It's okay, right? It's okay. We'll pull the child between the two of us, right? So now Prabhupada is going to explain. In this material world, everyone is conditioned regardless of who he is. So he's conditioned by what? One may be a human being, a demigod, or an animal, tree, or plant, but everything is controlled by the laws of nature. And behind this natural control is the Supreme Person, Godhead. So condition meaning that you're forced to obey certain condition. You can only move this way or this way. You can't go beyond this, right? The boundaries, right? So this is confirmed. So these natural laws, they are actually under the control of Krishna. So Krishna says, Maya dhakshena prakrite suyate sacharacharam. The material nature is working under my direction and producing all moving and non-moving beings. Thus, Krishna is behind the natural machine which works under his control. So this nature, this nature that we are seeing everywhere, and then the laws, all right? So it's a machine. Like we are living in a machine. This universe is a machine, right? It's actually a machine. So But behind the laws is natural machine, meaning it's not like a computer box, right? You go and sit inside a computer box, right? It's organic. It's an organic machine, meaning it's a living machine. It's a living machine. So nature is living. Apart from other living entities, the living being in the human form of body systematically, just see what Prabhupada is writing here. So leave aside the other living beings. Human beings is systematically controlled by the Vedic injunctions in terms of the divisions of Varna and Ashrama. A human being is expected to follow the rules and regulations of Varna and Ashrama. Otherwise, he cannot escape punishment by Yamaraj. All right? Systematically, meaning if you're a Brahmana, you have to do your work as a Brahmana. You can't do something else, right? A Brahmana lives on charity, right? This is his dharma, to accept charity, right? Now, if he start doing business, yeah, I just heard Prabhupada saying this now in Vrindavan. He said that you go to Vrindavan just to fill up your belly, right? So what do you do? Because in Vrindavan, everybody is pious. You do Madhukari, you go door to door, you collect chapati. So Prabhupada is saying, you go to Vrindavan, you go, you put on the loin cloth, right? And then you collect 20 chapatis, and you can go in the market and you sell it. Prabhupada must have seen, no? So if you're a Brahmana, if you're a sannyasi, right, you're controlled. You cannot go beyond 5 houses. How does a Brahmana live? He lives on charity. And he's allowed to go to 5 houses. If he didn't get anything from those 5 houses, he has to fast. Of course, he doesn't fast because everybody respect, right? So a Brahmana must do his own, so systematically controlled. And everybody is expected to follow the rules and regulations of Varna and Ashram. And now, like this man who's putting on a loincloth, imitating the profession, the occupation of a Brahmana or a sannyasi. If he's doing this, what happens to him? My Prabhupada wrote here. He cannot escape the punishment of Yamaraj. All right? So if we find so much suffering in the world right now, it's because the human beings, they are not following the rules and regulations of the Varna and Ashrama. And these rules and regulation, it's like this, you know. If there is a tear in a cloth, right? If there's a small tear in a cloth, what do you do? If there's a small tear in the cloth, what do? You fix it immediately, right? Why?
Stitch in time saves 1.
Yeah. A stitch in time saves 9, because you know the whole fabric will break. This is what happened with the Varnashram system. As soon as one hole was made, right, in this Uttam Protam of Varnashram system, right? As soon as one hole was made, immediately start to grow and grow until it is what is happening today, right? And because people have thrown away the Vedic literatures, does it mean they're free from Yamaraj? Does it mean they're free from Yamaraj? No. So why people are suffering, right? Like right now, the way suffering is happening with wars, whether it is, we spoke last week, you know, whether it is Cold War or, you know, hot war, whatever war, right, wars going on, right? Everywhere. What is this? It is punishment of Yamaraj, right? The point is that every human being is expected to elevate himself to the position of a Brahmana, the most intelligent man, and then must transcend that position to become a Vaishnava. This is the perfection of life. So, meaning that, so Prabhupada was speaking about Arya. Who's an Arya? So, he was taking this point about this Varnashram system. So, so meaning every human being. So, first thing is that we should agree to enter the system of Varnashram. So, it's a system. All right, so Prabhupada systematically. How about Prabhupada says systematically controlled? Meaning I should agree to put myself in the system, right? So if I opt out, this is what we call a malage, right? A malage is someone who opts out of the system, meaning no control. So why this system? Prabhupada is explaining here. Because it doesn't matter who you are, whether you are a Shudra, whether you are a Vaishya or you're a Kshatriya, any one of them can graduate to become a Brahmana, the most intelligent. What is the meaning of Brahmana? Why he said to be the most intelligent? Because he knows Brahman. He knows the difference between body and soul. So again, Prabhupada's class this morning, he was saying that the soul is within the body, but it requires extreme intelligence to find the soul in the body. High intelligence. So Brahmana is someone who's able to detect the soul within the body. All right? So Prabhupada said, just like a geologist. A geologist knows where there is gold. The ordinary people cannot find gold. Right? So you need certain expertise. So a Brahmana is someone who's most intelligent and who knows how to find the soul within the body. The Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra can elevate themselves by worshipping the Lord according to their activities. Sweshe karmanya bhirata samsiddhim labhate naraha. The divisions of Varna and Ashrama are necessary to ensure the proper execution of duties and peaceful existence for everyone. But everyone is directed to worship the Supreme Lord, who's all-pervading yena sarvam idam tatam. The Supreme Lord exists vertically and horizontally, uttam prottam, and therefore if one follows the Vedic injunctions by worshipping the Supreme Lord according to one's ability, his life will be perfect. So now, Prabhupada is explaining this elevation through the system of Varnashram. So a beautiful class this morning. So Prabhupada, again, same point about Varnashram. So he says that we don't want, so we say, we don't want, we call this caste, right? And we don't want, so we say now, so he said he start from the West, classless, everybody won. And then he said now in India they say no caste, no caste. But so Prabhupada said it is not caste, it is division. What is division? Like right now, everything is messed up. Everybody knows this. You open how many thousands of colleges, engineering colleges, right? Thousands. The figure is given 15 lakh children studying engineering, and now everybody's become useless, right? Their degree has become useless. So one young man, so I don't know what he is, he was in a podcast, he was being interviewed by another one, he's trying to help people figure out what to do. So he said, now you don't need brain power, you need muscle power right now. Whoever, you don't need all these degrees, double, triple degrees. It says, what are you able to do? Meaning this is Varnashram, all right? And just see the tragedy. Prabhupada is shouting again and again. Even Gandhiji, he shouted the same thing. He said, the villages, all right? You need to be in the village. and cottage industry is sufficient. This mass production, right? This super mass production. So who are those who are suffering from his see, I'm hearing him, but from what I'm understanding, based on what Prabhupada is saying, who is suffering? It is the farmers, boys and girls who are suffering. Because they left the field, right? Prabhupada is saying, this young man, he's saying, Pet bharna hai, all right? And Prabhupada is saying, your food is in the fields. Why are you going to the factory? When the factory don't want you anymore, they throw you out, right? So, if we will listen little bit, and that's why even in ISKCON everywhere they are having farms. They want to again revive. See, whatever I'm reading here, whatever I'm speaking, I have heard many classes by Bhakti Vikas Swami, by Bhakti Raghav Maharaj. I have read their books to figure out this Varnashram. And here it is from Prabhupada's Bhagavatam. All right. So Prabhupada is explaining here that it's not that I'm a farmer and therefore I am less than somebody else. I mean, Bhakti Raghav Maharaj, the way he explained it, it's superb. But we have to apply a little bit of our brain to it. Exactly this. So the point is that every human being is expected to elevate himself to the position of a Brahmana, the most intelligent man. And then one must transcend that position to become a Vaishnava. This is the perfection of life. The Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra can elevate themselves by worshipping the Lord according to their activities. Meaning, if you're a farmer, right? Meaning the Brahmana cannot live without your food, right? He has to offer bhog to the Lord, right? Or is he himself going to produce the food, right? So actually, that's what's happening now. That's what's happening now. The Brahmana himself, he has to go and produce the food. The flowers. Who will offer the flowers? You need flowers for the deities. You need fruits for the deities, right? When you break the whole system of Varnashram, then they have to do this, right? You see our Talasari farm, you see a GV everywhere. Who are they? They were Brahminical boys, right? Why? Because those who are actual farmers, they don't want to do. Would have been so much easier, right? If we would put down my false ego and say there is worth, but they've been trained, they've been captured by the Industrial Revolution. All these poor parents, they've been brainwashed and programmed to believe that unless you have a job, you cannot survive. System of Varnashram is what you call self-dependence. They have those small, now they're going back. Now, entrepreneur, they call it, right? And India was mostly you're self-dependent. You're not dependent on somebody. But they broke all that. They opened all those colleges. Everybody become engineer, right? Now you're thrown out. Actually, real engineers are a handful. They are the Brahmanas who have become engineers. But the farmers, they are not really engineers. Yes, that's why they're being discarded. They've been used by the industries, and now when the industries have developed machines, they throw you out. Right? How will they find their satisfaction? It's given here. When we are not focused on our work as such, what are we focused on? Pleasing the Supreme Lord. So if every parent is taught, if every parent become dharmic, right? they follow the system of Varnashram. They will not hesitate to place their child appropriately. So, Prabhupada is saying that uh, the divisions of Varna and Ashrama are necessary to ensure the proper execution of duties and peaceful existence for everyone. All right? Meaning everybody's got their own duty, like you don't step on my toe, you don't say, you're doing my work, right? There is a system of cooperation. I was just in GV. So this one devotee, so he was showing us around. So he explained, so he said that the competition that goes on in the cities cannot happen in the villages. So he explained to me why. They have to cooperate, right? Because one village cannot produce everything, right? You need so many villages and you have to exchange your products, right? And secondly, he said, you look boundary, this boundary, that boundary. He said, if there is insect in my field, it will catch onto you, right? So therefore they cooperate. He says, whereas in the cities, everybody's got their credit card. They don't care about the neighbor. Everybody's living on the strength of their card. So they don't bother. So here Prabhupada is saying that this system of Varnashram, it ensures the proper execution of duties and peaceful existence for everyone. So we say we don't need you. So that's why husband and wife say we don't need you, right? I can live by myself. So whereas when if you are in this setup, then you need each other. But higher than this, everyone is directed to worship the Supreme Lord, who's all-pervading, meaning that Supreme Lord is all-pervading, meaning he's with the Brahmana, he's with the Kshatriya, he's with the Vaishya, he's with the Shudra, right? He's with everybody. He's all-pervading. It's not that only the Brahmanas have captured the Lord. So meaning you do your own work, you offer the result of your work to the Supreme Lord, Krishna is happy. And no problem. The Supreme Lord exists vertically and horizontally, Uttam Protam, and therefore if one follows the Vedic injunction by worshipping the Supreme Lord according to one's ability, his life will be perfect. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.213, Ata pumbhidvija shrestha varnashrama vibhagasah swanushthitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. O best among the twice born, it is therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging his prescribed duties, dharma, according to caste divisions and orders of life, is to please the Lord Hari. The Varnashram institution offers the perfect process for making one eligible to return home back to Godhead, because the aim of every Varna and Ashrama is to please the Supreme Lord. One can please the Lord under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master. And if one does so, his life is perfect. The Supreme Lord is worshipable and everyone worships him directly or indirectly. Those who worship him directly get the results of liberation quickly, whereas the liberation of those who serve him indirectly are delayed. So, again, see, everywhere you find Prabhupada is saying, follow this, do this under direction of a bona fide spiritual master. So today in our Bhagavatam Cross Prabhupada's lecture, I heard him explain this Pancharatrika Vidhi and Vaidhi Bhakti, right? So in this Pancharatra Vidhi, unqualified people, meaning those who are not in this system of Varnashram, all right? Because system of Varnashram is very rigid, and you are born usually Brahmana. And automatically, if you are born in this family, so automatically the whole culture will make you a Brahmana, right? Your child will automatically go to the Gurukul and learn by heart all the Vedas, right? Your child, if you're Kshatriya, automatically he will go and learn the military science like this, automatically. With the fall down, the breakdown of this Varnashram system, everybody has become Malaj, right? So, what is prescribed in this Kali Yuga, it is Pancharatrika Vidhi. So, Prabhupada is quoting this verse. Hunda Pulkasa. So he said, the Mongolian, he said the Manipuri, the Assamese, everybody who are like considered, out, right? Even these people, meaning including all of us, by the system of Pancharatrika Vidhi, the way we are following in ISKCON, we can be elevated. And then Prabhupada is explaining under guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. What I gather from this, in the system of Varnashram, so much monitorship was not required. All right? Because it was automatic. Your father, he has taken Diksha everywhere. So in the family, by family tradition, automatically you are going to follow. And the whole society is going to make you follow. But in our case, all the time, right? You have a sadhana chart, you have a now all system, counselor system, bhakti vriksha system, mitra system, right? Just to check on you, how are you doing, right? So this is the Pancharatrika Vidhi, which is dependent on guidance of spiritual master. The word Nama Bhir Vache are very important. In the Varnashram instruction, there are different names: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanapras, and Sannyasi. The vak of Vedic injunctions give direction for all these divisions. Everyone is expected to offer obeisances to the Supreme Lord and perform duties as indicated in the Vedas. All right. Okay, we have to take one verse at a time because every instruction of Yamaraj, Srila Prabhupada is elaborating, and they're very much relevant today. Extremely relevant today. So, see, we don't want to just run through this Bhagavatam as a theory, cover everything in 1 month. We're not going to do this. This is very appropriate for our time. I mean, if we are suffering right now, this generation is suffering. I mean, massive suffering is awaiting them. I mean, it's a war right now, right? Right now it's a war in different ways. There's war going on. So therefore, we need to know how to protect our children. Prabhupada is giving the system, right? So please teach all the children whatever is in these books, right? This passage we have compiled it in that small book, Vedic Philosophy for Students, is there. Now if you're understanding it better, you can teach it. Are you teaching, Priya?
Just while doing seva.
Anyway,
Slowly I'll pitch in.
yeah.
Now I'm initiating.
All right, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Those who follow the Varna ashram, that is Vaidhi Bhakti.
Oh, yeah, it is Vaidhi Bhakti. It is.
And Pancharatrika also includes deity worship.
Yeah, Pancharatrika system meaning the deity worship, and it is this system that Prabhupada has instituted. Meaning our Diksha, the way we take Diksha, meaning we don't see, okay, which caste you belong to, right? Right? We don't look at this, whether you are Brahmana, then we are going to give you Brahman Diksha. No. Isn't it?
It takes all
Yeah, meaning look at your qualification. Are you able to chant 16 rounds? Are you able to follow the regulative principles? Are you serious in practicing Krishna consciousness, in doing seva? Right?
But even in Pancharatrika they have to chant, right?
Of course,
Yeah.
Pancharatrika Vidhi means you're chanting your Diksha, you're taking Diksha, you promise to chant 16
I'm just
rounds.
trying to understand the difference between Vedi and this. That's
Oh, no, Vedi, no. We're not speaking of Vedi Bhakti and Raganuga Bhakti. I'm saying the Vedic system. The Vedic system, okay? Vedic system meaning by birth.
Brahman,
Yes.
Varnashram.
Yeah, because now this is all over. I'm, I'm not speaking of the Vedi Bhakti. Okay. Automatically, the son of a Brahmana automatically will become a Brahmana. Right? He has to follow the whole system. But here, even though you're not born in a family of Brahmana, you can be elevated to, to be a Brahmana
Yes.
if you follow the system,
Yes.
right? As described here. And main thing is that you have to be under guidance of a spiritual master.
I understood.
All
Like
right?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, everyone has to be uplifted to a position of a Goswami, which is
Hmm.
mentioned in Anubhi. I
Yeah.
understood.
Yeah.
Such a nice
Yeah.
consciousness here.
Yeah, meaning everybody has the chance.
Yeah. At least we can try.
All right, wait, we should have prasad somewhere. Yeah, what?